All right, gang. So I've got a very important message for you today, and it's a system that I want you to be able to think about that we all have in our body, and it's very simplified. A little bit crude, but this is the way things work. So we have in our body this imaginary crapometer, right? So the more junk that we have inside of our body, the more wastes that we don't get rid of, the foods that we're eating, the poisonous toxins that we're building, that we're accumulating inside of our body, that junk starts to build up and up and up. Now we have this meter in our body. That's our crapometer. Means, how much junk can we store before it starts to affect our function. And that is the point at which we start to express significant symptoms. And it's our body's way of alerting us that, hey, the garbage is full. We got to get this junk out of the body right away. Otherwise, things are starting to break down because we're literally in our own toxic waste, and it's killing us. It's destroying certain cells. And so the body is going to do everything that it can to, one, try to remove the waste. But if you keep jam-packing it with stuff that accumulates more and more of these, more junk in the body, more crap in the body, then you also are consuming most likely foods that are then also acting to make the body's ability to get the waste out less. So you're decreasing your body to your ability to even get it out. So it stores and it stays. And that is acid forming foods that do that. But the big picture that I want you to think about is this idea of a crapometer in the body. What happens with most Americans is we're hanging out, like most people that are ordinary, they're not really, they're just doing their own thing, right? Maybe they're even trying to eat healthy, trying to make good decisions, they exercise, they play sports. We're walking around with our crapometer like here, as in terms of our scale. So we kind of fluctuate back and forth. We get symptoms, maybe they start to go away, and suddenly, we got the flu, and then our body detoxes it out, the junk, and all of a sudden now we're back down here. We're feeling like, we're doing pretty good. And then you have other things, and all of a sudden maybe stuff starts to happen. You're up here, and all of a sudden now you're starting to have serious arthritis, and that's starting to show up. You have aches and pains that are just persistent, and they're hanging around more than they ever did before, and they're not really going away. Maybe occasionally they start to go away because your body is trying to detox. Just because you're alive, your body's trying to detox it out of you, trying to get the crap out, and it starts to remove some of that waste out. You start to do things like you get like a vaccination. It has a bunch of junk inside of it, right? So what's that do? Boop, pushes a lot of people up over that edge. Down here, you're like, hey, what's the big deal? No, there's no problems with all this stuff. It's fine. See, I got it. I got no issues. But what you don't realize is you just bumped up your crapometer, and someone else was here and it just bumped up. God forbid, a lot of people are up here and then they just got bumped up to there. And so now we're seeing more and more issues that are coming up with it because people don't understand the crapometer. They don't understand that we have a threshold in our system at which our body starts expressing symptoms when things are falling apart because we are storing or not detoxifying the waste products that is either normal metabolic processes of the cells, meaning the cells are pooping stuff out and it's just backing up around it, or we're eating stuff that's adding to the toxic load in our body as well. And it's a combination of the two. What is awesome about chiropractic is that what it does is it raises our crapometer threshold. It actually raises it up higher so that we have the ability to adapt more. It puts our body into a state of better function so that we can actually now, if we were right around here, now we're up here, okay, the body has breathing room, and the body now can say, okay, cool, this is easy. It's easier to detox this stuff now because we have a bigger threshold, a bigger margin than we had before. And so that's why we see when people start getting adjusted, they used to get like allergies, and their allergies go away. Asthma, it starts to go away. They're not getting sick as often. And we see that a lot. Like people, they were getting, 3 or 4 times a year, they were getting sick. They're going, a year or 2 years, they're not getting sick at all. Or when they do, it's just very, very mild symptoms. It's nothing significant. how else do we explain this except when it's hard to if you don't understand this system in our body, which is the concept of the crapometer, of things backing up. So it's so important that people incorporate chiropractic in their journey, but that's not all, right? I mean, that gives you that margin, but you can go through and you can poison yourself, right? You can get chiropractic care. You're like, oh, I'm doing great. My nervous system is functioning awesome. And then you can go snort some heavy metal and poison yourself and die. You can do that. I don't know about the snorting of the heavy metal, but you get my pictures. You can poison yourself still to the point where suddenly you push that crapometer so high that your body can't handle it. Doesn't matter how strong your nervous system was to begin with, it's not going to be able to handle that. And so that's where it's not a all one size fits all in the terms of like, oh, this is a cure all when we look at chiropractic. It's like, but man, it can affect everything, and it can fix everything given that the circumstances are appropriate, and then like secondary effects and damage, right? So that's even a silly way to think about it, being that. But what it is it's the biggest system and the most important system in our body that has to be functioning well is our nervous system, and that's what we focus on with chiropractic. But you have to understand the crapometer so that you can limit and minimize the crap that you're putting in, and work to learn how to detox it out of you by eating raw fruits, raw vegetables, not putting in acidic foods into your body anymore. And so that now you can start to allow your body to detox and bring that load down, so that you are now walking through life healthier, you're more resilient, you are able to handle stress better, you're able to handle environmental stressors better, chemical stressors better, when you get this system intact and you start to increase that margin for yourself. Good things start happening for you. So think about the crapometer and work to orient your life to get the biggest difference possible, and your health will thank you for it.